Welcome to today's International Michael Jackson News Digest, Monday, May 18, 2020. Here are today's headlines. Janet, the original PYT, Don't Stop Sexy Shock, Little Richard Payout, Paris Jackson Trail Mix, and Africa to award MJ. So let's get straight into it. The first story is the original PYT. So this is about Janet performing backup vocals for PYT, something we knew about already. But let's read this. Michael Jackson was one of the greatest pop icons of the 80s, 90s, a little bit more than that, I think. Somehow lightning struck twice in the same place and two members of the same family became major stars. Well, I think there's more than just two members of the Jackson family that became major stars. The Michael Jackson hit with Janet Jackson's backing vocals, according to AllMusic, Janet's first album, Janet Jackson, we don't need to know that. One of the first singles from Thriller was PYT. The song features memorable backing vocals from Janet, and according to Billboard, Janet has happy memories of working on the song. She remembers Michael asking her to come to the studio to sing on the track back when she was 16 years old. Janet recalled, "Since we had been singing together forever, I knew it would be easy. I jumped at the chance. I loved being one of the PYTs and was especially proud, and I hope this doesn't sound like bragging, that when the record was mixed, my single background voice was the one featured." Janet said the prominence of her backing vocals made her feel pure bliss. Lovely. And pure bliss? Oh, many fans of Michael and Janet would feel the same. Okay, so again, this is from the same Showbiz Cheat Sheet. Michael Jackson, Why Don't Stop Till You Get Enough, scandalised his mum. While Jackson went on to craft many other good songs, Don't Stop Till You Get Enough is still widely considered one of its best. However, not everyone was happy with the song, and Jackson's mother actually found the song's lyrics objectionable. Nice photo there from the Victory Tour. Let's scroll down and see why Catherine found Don't Stop Till You Get Enough objectionable. The origin of Don't Stop Till You Get Enough. Okay, so that's mentioned in The Wiz. We don't need to read that. We all know when Michael met Quincy. So why Michael Jackson's mother objected to the song's lyrics. And here's a screenshot from Don't Stop Till You Get Enough. Why is my mouse not working? Why is this not scrolling down? Come on. Here we go. Yeah, take your time, please. Okay, so Don't Stop Till You Get Enough is a great song. However, because of Jackson's unique vocal styling, some of its lyrics are hard to understand. Are they? According to Stereo Gum, some of them seem to be risque, such as Touch Me. Okay, so according to MJ, the genius of Michael Jackson, that final ooh in the intro sounds very sexual. Jackson's mother, Catherine, a Jehovah's Witness, was scandalised by the song. She was so upset by it because she interpreted it as being about sex. Why have they got a photo of the bad? Okay, Jackson convinced his mother the song wasn't risque. According to Michael Jackson, the solo years, Jackson protested his mother's interpretation of the song, saying, "If you think it means something dirty, then that's what it will mean, but that's not how I intended it." Not really news, is it? But it's good that actually Michael's songs are being reported in any way, really, in any of the news sources. So more stories about that, please. Okay, so this is from Face to Face Africa, how Michael Jackson spent over $47 million to put a smile on Little Richard's face. I've covered this already, but let's see how Face to Face Africa have reported this and have they got their facts correct. Okay, so in '84, the late Richard Wayne Penniman, famously known as Little Richard, sued Specialty Records, a record label he had worked with, for what he believed was an amount of $112 million owed to him. Penniman had left the label in 1959 under very acrimonious circumstances. The eccentric rock and roll singer and performer fell out with Art Rupe, the boss at Specialty, and the man who was also responsible for Penniman's biggest payday at that time. Rupe in 1955 bought Tutti Frutti, a song written by Penniman and Dorothy Labostri. Rupe paid just $50 to own the rights to the song, and that turned out to be an outrageously rewarding manoeuvre by the record executive. $50, that's not much at all, is it? So Tutti Frutti was considered an artistic hit, but more importantly a commercial one too, but Penniman did not stand to gain, much thanks to the conditions under which he had signed away his rights to the song. So Little Richard would later say about that episode in his life, "I was a dumb black kid and my mama had 12 kids and my daddy was dead. I wanted to help them, so I took whatever was offered. What was offered was just half a cent for every record of Tutti Frutti sold. When Specialty sold 500,000 records, they reportedly gave a check to Little Richard of just $25,000. Little Richard would go on after 55 to write other songs for Specialty until he decided he had enough. When Pennyman decided to leave his record label, Michael Joseph Jackson, the 8th child of Joe and Catherine Jackson, was just a year old. That's interesting. So let's find what we are looking for. Okay, so it's mentioned in the ATV catalogue of McCartney, so it's not clear if McCartney urged Jackson to buy a controlling stake in ATV, but that is exactly what Jackson did with about 47.5 million in 85. It's also not known if Jackson knew ATV owned the rights to Little Richard's songs, and it says here that basically he gave the catalogue back to Little Richard, which we know he didn't. Okay, so Metalhead Zone. They seem to be continually obsessed with Paris Jackson. Michael Jackson's daughter shares her bizarre photo and says, "I might delete it later." Let's see what's bizarre about this photo. A social media phenomena and singer-daughter of Michael Jackson, Paris, has posted a new photo on her Instagram account and wrote an interesting message over it. In the photo, Paris is posing for the camera in makeup-free appearance with stoned eyes. And also, she flaunted her awesome tattoos once again. If you look at the caption, you'll see that Paris is not feeling confident and said that she might delete this post really soon. Here's what she wrote: "Feel like granola trail mix, might delete later, I don't know." A fan page on Instagram chimed in, "Wow, do not delete, I love this, I love you." And Paris responded and clarified her words by saying, "It was a joke, I won't delete it." Here's the photo. It doesn't look bizarre at all, does it? Clickbaity title. Actually, it's a rather nice photo. So here's a really nice story from Guardian Arts, the Guardian NG. Belugan, why we want to celebrate Michael Jackson. There's a photo of Michael at the This Is It conference. So the well-known filmmaker, author, musician and cultural activist Ola Belugan has given reason for his organisation's decision to honour some of Africa's greatest artists. Speaking to The Guardian at the weekend, Belugan said arrangements have been concluded for the inaugural edition of Africa Bamba, a high-priority Pan-African cultural event scheduled to be held sometime in September. Originally, it was scheduled for February, but because of the coronavirus pandemic, it's obviously been put back. According to the organisers, the event will take the form of an illustrated lecture combined with live music and dance, and it will equally present a vivid panorama of African and African diaspora music. And it goes on to list some of the traditional African music and the genres and styles that it will include. But we want to find out more about Michael Jackson, so let's have a look. He said part of the plan would be to bestow a Yoruba name, posthumously, I can never say that, on Michael Jackson as one of the highlights of the event. Unfortunately, the very week I was to travel back to Aya for the IFA consultation to determine the correct name for Michael, the pop music legend, travel restrictions were imposed in the country. I hope to go back to Aya for the IFA ceremony envisioned by the Alafin as a preliminary step towards bestowing an appropriate Yoruba name on Michael Jackson. So that's brilliant. That's something to look forward to in September. And it's great that Michael's ancestry and his roots are being recognised. And I think this is something that Michael would be really proud of. He had some real deep connections with Africa and was very proud of his race and his ancestry. So our next story is where I look on YouTube and look at the content that's been uploaded in the last 24 hours, and today I pick MJ Fangirl.
Hey guys, what's up? It's me, MJFanGirl, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about Michael Jackson through the decades. Yes, I'm going to be choosing one, or maybe two, songs that define Michael Jackson's career, and yeah, let's get into the list. Stay tuned, you don't want to miss it. You are now watching MJFanGirlTV.
MJFanGirlTV is a great channel, and I've put the link in the description. That's today's Michael Jackson International News. Comment and subscribe, because the best is yet to come.